Should you start your estate agency solo or with a partner? Today I'm joined by Mike Robson, who is the other half of Avocado, the other half being Ian Macbeth, that crazy fool that does 100-mile marathons. Interestingly, in a previous video, he just basically sent you a LinkedIn message. You hadn't seen him for 8 years, saying, hey, let's set up a business.
Yep.
What top tips would you give to someone about going into business with someone else? Talk to me.
So the first thing I would say is don't go into business with someone who you trained, because you'll just be working with someone who knows what you know, and you'll just be two people who know 100%. Go into business with someone who's slightly different and got a slightly different skill set to you. We firmly believe that as a pair, you can do far more business than if you're sat on your own, because there's a lack of procrastination and deal making is easier.
So there's accountability.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I often hear people saying where the other one isn't pulling their weight. How do you deal with that?
I've not experienced that, because
He is hard work, and I know you.
Ian's an incredible hard worker, and the accountability is there, that I'm more likely to procrastinate and struggle on something and forgive myself for not doing it than he is. He will work solo without any shadow of a doubt. I needed that support, or I needed that accountability without him ever having to say it. I know that if I say I'm going to do something, I maybe on my own would forgive myself for not doing it, but because there's someone else there, I automatically have to do it, because otherwise I'm letting someone else down.
How do you deal with disagreements?
A very, very well honest approach to having a shareholders agreement and having a meeting every single month or every single quarter, so we know where we're going and we know why we're doing it. Ultimately, in our business, which will be different to any other business, Ian makes the decisions on what are his responsibilities, and I make the decisions based on what my responsibilities are. And we've got a general line: if one of us says no, then we don't do it.
So in the shareholders agreement, it is clearly defined which areas you are responsible for.
As we've grown out, yeah. We started off both doing exactly the same thing, and as the business has grown, we've grown apart in our roles, so we cover different aspects of the business.
Is there any crossover between the two?
Yeah, absolutely. As far as where the company culture is concerned and the people are concerned, we share that, and we have to both agree on what we're doing. It's just like being in a marriage. If I want to do something, my wife doesn't want to do it, well, you're not going to do it. You can't drag someone along for the ride in a business or a marriage. It won't work.
What would you have done differently?
It's hard to say, because anything that you do wrong, I think you learn from. It's hard to say what you would do differently.
You have a very stoic outlook in life. Where does that come from?
It's just who I am. I don't have time to really have the regrets or anything like that. If something goes wrong, well, it's gone wrong. You've done your best to make it go right, and it hasn't. So why waste months and months and months thinking about what could go wrong or what has gone wrong? Just get in and correct it or make it better.
So you're not a worrier at all?
Everyone has worries, but I think
I said.
I think my the rational side of my brain just clicks in. I'm scared of heights, but I'll still go, because I know I'm not going to fall off.
So is Ian your yin to your yang? Because he's quite wears his heart on the sleeve. Well, it's you. I've known you for a number of years, but I've only really and I'm sure I'm only scratching the surface. I've only really got to know you quite slowly. Whilst with Ian, you kind of see what you get.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he puts himself out 110% of this is, and that's part of you need to know who you're dealing with. So the personal one goes to the professional.
When the cameras are not there and he's not in public, he's a different man, isn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's quite conservative with the small C, quiet, away from the camera and away from the.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a quiet family person, and the marathon running he'll go for a 4 hour run in the woods.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do. That's someone who really doesn't want to talk to people, isn't it? Like that's my hobby, 4 hour runs in the woods with nobody else around me. Just me and my thoughts, and that's probably where he gets his best plans, best ideas, and I get quite a few voice notes on those runs.
Out slightly. Oh, but no, not out of breath because he's.
Not out of breath. No, I'm more out of breath walking the dog.
So, if you had to encapsulate it into a couple of sentences, what advice would you give to someone going to business with a partner?
I would say first and foremost, understand what they want out of it and what you want out of it. We were very specific that we knew financially where each other were, family wise where each other were, and where we wanted to get out of the business. Because starting a business without knowing what the end goal is means that we were more likely to be, I would say in inverted commas, stuck behind desks doing the job for the next 20 years. And neither of us wanted that. So the fact we had kids the same age, roughly the same kind of mortgage, the same kind of investments, the same kind of savings, meant that from a financial point of view, no one in the UK likes to talk about money. Your parents don't like to talk about money. You don't talk about money to your friends, blah, blah, blah. We just laid it on the table. How are you financially? Where are you? What do you want out of this? Where will you be? And if you know what your business partner wants out of something, then nothing's going to come out of the woodwork in 6 months' time of the, oh, mate, by the way, can I borrow some money? I've got nothing.
Thank you for your time today.
Pleasure.